From the day you asked her to marry you.
Oh, you don't want to know about that, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I wrote a note. She was sat with the preacher's son about 4 rows forward.
She was with the preacher's son?
Yes.
The same one that married you?
All I did was wrote a note and I said, do you want to go ahead with 44?
With the plans of 44.
And she gave him the note to read. Didn't make no sense to him, but it did to her.
And what was the 44?
Huh?
What was the 44?
Well, she was 15 years old when I first asked her if she wanted about getting married.
Well, it wasn't in a note then. You asked her at 15 years old, huh? You asked Mom when she was 15?
Yeah.
And how old were you then? Just
16.
16. And the year you asked her was 44 then? That was the year you asked her?
Yeah.
And you remembered that?
January the 25th. Then 4 years later, on January the 25th, when we got married.
Oh, how sweet.
4 years to work through.
4 years later, you remembered when in 44, he said you wanted to go ahead with the plans of 44. You knew what it meant, but you were sitting with the preacher's son. Now, tell me how that happened, Mom.
He was a nice young man. And all the young people were sitting together, and he'd sit down beside me. That was fine with me.
So
I mean, you know, in church pews, everybody just slides over and sits down where there's an empty space.
Okay. So when you got the note that he passed around to you, and you knew what it meant, but you gave it to the preacher's son to read?
Well, you know, it was a note I passed in church from 4 rows back. So.
Okay. So what did the preacher's son think of the note?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
It was strictly between us.
Yeah. So
we're the only two understood.
How did you answer him? Did you write a note back?
No.
No.
It was during church.
So you just turn around and go to the other?
No.
No?
She didn't even write a note.
No? She didn't nod her head or shake her head? Or?
No.